And I know we talked a lot about Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. We've beat it up so many times, but things have changed a little bit. And a couple of those things that have changed is Dana White came forward and said that he's going to put $1 million or would put $1 million on Ben Askren, saying that Jake Paul is not a boxer and cannot fight. He's not a fighter. I'd like to get your opinion on that. And then also, they're trying to make this one of the greatest sports combat events in history. They actually have Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg, and a lot of other performances and added extras to make this show, to boost this show. And they also have, I really want to get your opinion on this, and I'm sorry, I can repeat some of this if you want. Frank Mir is making his boxing debut, 0-0 as a boxer, against Antonio Tarver, who's 52 years old, and obviously was a every organization champion, every major organization champion. What is your opinion on, will Ben Askren beat Jake Paul? Does he have a chance, or are you still going with Jake Paul? What do you think about the competition between this style of show coming up against someone like the UFC with Justin Bieber power and Snoop Dogg and the way they're doing it? And then what are your thoughts on Frank Mir fighting Antonio Tarver when Frank Mir is my age at 41 and he's fighting a 52-year-old Antonio Tarver?
Well, first of all, Jake Paul, I still believe in the kid. I think he's the real deal. I think he's only getting better. Talking to all the people that I know that are training him, talking to his trainer, BJ Flores, who I've been watching, and I've seen some of the videos they sent me of the training, and I'm very impressed with him. I was very, very impressed. BJ is a hell of a coach, and he knows what he's doing. He's bringing the right sparring partners for him to spar with. He's not bringing like these really high decorated type boxers. He's bringing like MMA fighters, bare knuckle kind of fighters, really good fighters, and from what I'm hearing that, man, Jake's doing fantastic. And the little bit I've seen of him on his Instagram, and I know from being a boxer myself, most of my life has been in the boxing gyms, you just don't have that many videos where you show yourself knocking people the hell out. And he has got quite a few of that, showing him knocking people the hell out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm watching the speed. I'm watching, yeah, sure. Is it super, super technical, super relaxed? No. But is there power? Yes. And is the technique getting better? If you're watching closely, yes, it's getting better. And he's being taught by a guy that fought for 3 world titles, if I'm not mistaken, BJ Flores, who is 30-something, and like he's got a great boxing record, so he's good there. So that's good. Justin Bieber, all these guys, Black Eyed Peas, like you say, man, that's fantastic. That's a show.
It's a pretty good show.
This, you got 20+ million YouTubers that follow Jake Paul. You got all these people on Instagram, millions he's got there. His brother, Logan Paul's got 22-something million. If you watch these kids' videos, they're really impressive, man. Their videos are impressive. These guys are serious at their craft. They know how to create funny content. They know how to do everything, So yeah, I'm still a big believer in Jake Paul, and I'm also a believer in Ben Askren, though, because he's no easy task.
Absolutely.
And look, Ben Askren is not coming out there to box with him. No. He's going to come out there and use his wrestling, the best of his ability, rabbit punch, this, and that. There's a lot of things that he's going to be penalized for here and there because he's not going to be able to get away with things. The ref's going to rough him up. I mean, break him up when he does things that are illegal. And he's going to do it, whether he likes it or not, because that's the best chance he has to rough him up, get him tired, bring him in deep, and drown him. That's what I think. Like past the 4th or 5th round, if Ben Askren is still in the fight, it's going to be very interesting to see, how Jake can keep that stamina up and keep, Ben off of him. So that's what I'm waiting to see is what's going to happen after the 4th round. Can he continue to hit Ben and continue to outbox him? Because if he's getting tired, Ben's going to drown him. Yeah. He's going to drown him. So that was my only concern. As far as Frank Mir, against Antonio Tarver, well, I mean, you got a 41-year-old champ, UFC champ. He's a great athlete. But let's face it, he hasn't, even though you're 52 years old, Tarver's 52, you said? 52, yeah, I think so. Yeah, man. He's still got too much up here, man, in the boxing department. It's just like Antonio Tarver just started picking up MMA. He's been doing it for 6-7 years and whatever, blah blah blah, and then he's going to fight someone like Frank Mir in an MMA match, and you know, nah, I don't see that. It's going to be possibly competitive because, you know, Frank is a bigger guy, he's a heavyweight guy. It'll be interesting, but I kind of hope I'm wrong because I would like Frank to win, but I just don't think he's got enough boxing knowledge to deal with someone the likes of Antonio.
Yeah, first fight especially, and I think you know, if we learn something from the Mike Tyson Roy Jones fight, these guys can hit. I mean, you know, be it if it's a little slower than it used to be, being if it wasn't as frequent as it used to be, these guys can still punch. They still got power, and they still got that technique. And Antonio Tarver was a master. The guy was a champion in boxing against a guy versus Frank Mir, who is a ground guy specifically, you know, I guess initially, who learned striking, and he's 0-0 in boxing. And he wasn't always the greatest cardio machine, and now he's moving into a sport where Antonio Tarver has probably thrown 100 times more punches than Frank Mir in his life, and probably more than that. So even if he's old and even if he's, you know, worn down and aged, his arms are going to be able to throw those punches fast and accurately, I think a lot more than someone like Frank Mir, and I think Frank Mir is going to get picked apart. But I'm with you on the fact that I think it's going to be very interesting and not bad. You know, if they're going to put together another fight, you know, it's entertainment. So names sell, and I think that's even though I'm picking Antonio Tarver by a landslide, I'm definitely going to watch the fight and be interested in it. You know, because you never know what can happen, and I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, the main event. I mean, you got a main event that hey, look, come on, man. Dana's putting up $1 million. Come on, there's interest there, big time interest. You know, and the casinos are there. What's the odds? Is Jake Paul? What is he, a 2-1, 3-1 favorite? So imagine Dana putting up $1 million at a casino, and they're taking the odds at 3-1 or 2-1. I mean, he's going to do that all day long. He's going to do it. You know, if Dana says it, he'll do it. If they're giving those kind of odds, they'll do it.
The average odds right now is minus 250 for Paul and plus 200 for Askren. That's what the average odds are right now, according to the Google machine. Okay,
so he gets 2-1 basically.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, hey, Dana would probably do 1-1. So if the casinos are taking his bet, he'll put the $1 million down.
He will. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's not a bad bet. It's not a bad bet.
No.
If Ben can drown him, it's not a bad bet. It's not the bet I would do, but I can't sit here and go, oh, it's crazy. Like, look, listen, if it was Logan Paul, you know, I would not put nothing on Logan Paul. I'd be like, no way. I go, Jake gonna smash him.
Yeah.
You know, because Logan is not Jake. Jake is a different animal, man.
I mean, Jake's crazy, and like you have to be a little crazy. And the thing is I want to add two things to this. And the first thing is, we've seen, of all gyms, we've seen a lot of knockouts over the years at AKA. We've knocked each other out, you know, quite a few times. But to rack up a lot of knockouts in a camp or in a couple camps or even in a career, like one of us, to rack up knockouts, it hasn't happened. It's been random around the gym. Like it hasn't been a case where like I've knocked out 6 people in the gym or 5. I may have knocked out one person, actually knocked him out, or 2 people or something, and rocked a few other people here and there, whatever. And I'm knocking people out in the UFC, you know, more than in the gym. So like for him to get those knockouts, that does say something for sure.
If it doesn't, then I don't know who the hell
it does.
I don't know who the hell I am, because I'm telling you, I've never witnessed it. I never have.
Yeah, it does say something for sure. But I do think on the other side have to agree that Ben Askren is a master of winning. He's a very smart strategist when it comes to human kinetic chess. He's found a way to win against fights that he wasn't supposed to win his whole entire career. You know, he's an Olympian. And I think, like you said,
don't count him out.
I think there is a lot of things that he can do using his wrestling position, dirty boxing, and clinchy kind of like exhaustive moves that will be legal. Now, I think he may, like you said, go to an extreme where he might do something that stalls the fight and gets it broken up, or maybe venture into something that might not be so legal and they break it up or whatever. But I think he's definitely going to wear down Jake Paul, and that's going to be the ultimate test for Jake Paul, because he does have the knockout power. There's no doubt. He does have the striking, the potential of his technique is there. But this is going to be the real test of his heart, I think. I think it's not going to be a fast knockout, most likely. And I think it's going to be a test of, can he get exhausted and get ran down and deal with frustration? Because to me, I think the biggest thing is going to be for Jake Paul, the biggest problem he's going to have is frustration trying to hit and trying to deal with someone who's going to be clingy on him like Ben Askren. When you're used to guys swinging wildly like the YouTube guys and the basketball guys, and they're leaving themselves essentially wide open, then you got a guy clinging on you like Jake Shields used to cling on to me for sparring, and it drive me up insane. That's going to be the battle that he's going to have to face and defeat and then come out ahead on, I think. And that's going to show where he's at. And I think after this fight, we're going to know where Jake Paul is and where he's going to go from here.